What amazes me about humans, including myself, is how much we're driven by unconscious behavior. We're still in survival mode, or we're still navigating around that wound, and we're successful, but in a weird way, we have this control issue, or we can't surrender our hearts because something, like, oh, whatever. We all have like our own version, and as humans, just like animals, we all get our traumas. That's part of that's what duality on this earth is about. But like knowing that, and then having some ability to clear your traumas, just like animals shake it off. The deer is being chased by the lion. If he doesn't get eaten and killed, what will the deer do? He'll like shudder, and he'll shiver, and they shiver, and they shake, and they get it all out of their body. Move the energy, and then they can go on and be a deer again. Yep. Well, no one really taught us how to shake it off, right? Except Taylor Swift. So I think this idea, and that's when you asked me the question, I think that's part of what we're learning to do is like, how do we process these things so that we can be more fully alive?
Yeah, I focus a lot of the work that I do on a personal level, and then with clients as well, for the ones who are like ready for it. Like if I had, like when Greg and I are working together, he's done so much work on himself. He's fully open to being able to receive these concepts of the subconscious mind holding, all of our life's traumas and problems and conflicts. And I would even argue not just in this lifetime, but ancestral too. I think some of our traumas come from our mother and father, and maybe even their mother and fathers, these beliefs that are subconscious beliefs that are in our DNA.
Yeah, I agree.
That, we have to work through to get ourselves to a place to where I think we can actually be who we came here to be. Let's just say one thing, not necessarily from that Ascension Academy, but in your life to help you with those subconscious limitations and traumas and things. Like, was there a technique? Is there a perspective that you would give if you could?
I think it's really interesting. I mentor a lot of young people, entrepreneurs at this point. And what I find, and I talk about a lot of my podcast, is that because we tend to be in our head a lot of times, we know how a lot, but we don't know why. We really don't dig deep into our whys. You're a successful real estate guy, so you get this. People are like, oh, real estate must be easy. People get rich in real estate. How many people get rich in real estate in what you do? What percent of the people?
10%.
Right. 10%. But do you think 10% of the agents are making a good living right now?
Not so much.
I don't think so. What percent of the agents in your industry are making a good living, right? Like let's say over $250,000 a year. How many agents? What percent?
Over 3%.
I bet you might be 1.5.
1.5.
Maybe 3.
Yeah.
There's the point. Everyone thinks everything's easy, and it's not. Because all that glitters is not gold. So everyone thinks that real estate's easy. You have worked your ass off. I didn't know your story, and I know you've worked your ass off. Because you couldn't be where you're at if you didn't. I've worked my butt off. I've grinded for years to get to where I'm at. The reason why I mention that is I think people, to grind and not know your purpose of why you're grinding or where you're trying to get to is kind of, and I did it for many years. I'm not like, I have a lot of empathy, but I think that, and sympathy, but I think that your why ultimately, whether you listen to Simon Sinek on TED or if you really go deeper into your thing, I mean, your why is ultimately going to be an emotion. People always think it's an idea, and it's really not an idea. It's actually an emotion. Right? If you think about it, when you really get to your bottom line of your why, when you really start to get down, like for instance, I said, why do you want to be in real estate? Well, I want to do houses. Well, why do you want to be in the housing business? Well, because I want to make people happy. Well, why do you want to make people happy? And you go and you go and you go and you dig and you dig and you dig. There's usually a root emotion that you're trying to get to. And it's just hard to get to that emotion. So when you ask me the question, I think if people earlier on, and it's very hard to do. And I'm actually, my next episode on my podcast is actually a 1 hour how to do this deeper. How to I have something called the Starbucks exercise, which is the first thing I tell people to do is go to Starbucks, write a piece on a piece of paper. It's 3 years from now, never go more than 3 years. It's just too hard to figure out your life, and be audacious. Like let go of your brain and tell me what your life's like in 3 years from now. No holds barred. Don't tell me don't get practical.
Yeah.
I wake up, I'm on a yacht. I was like literally start training your brain and just start. And I say, do this with a pen. Don't do this with your computer. You could. I just think what you're doing is you're actually giving your brain a chance to get out of your head of, I can't do this. I can't because I don't have enough money. I don't have enough this. I don't have enough. And play with the idea. If I had enough, it could feel like this. And then from that openness, it gives you a little pathway into clearing your head to starting to maybe say what's actually important to me versus what I think is important to me. So I start with the Starbucks exercise as like number one for almost anyone who wants to be mentored by me. And they'll come back with that and tell me what'd you learn from the Starbucks exercise? And I think if you can actually get to that paragraph of what you're actually here on this planet to serve, and you can know it and wake up, then here's what happens. Every opportunity, including this invitation to be on your podcast, comes from choice. I chose to be here right now. I could be doing 100 things right now. You're not paying me, right? Are you paying me to be here? Was there pay?
Free hugs.
Free hugs. So I actually work on free hugs then, because I choose to be here, because the idea of spreading the mission of love, humanity, education, acknowledgement, pushing people forward is part of what I'm about. So like, this is a hell yes for me. I'll keep speaking if people want to hear about it. So the more you know what your mission is, the more you can say hell yes or hell no. Because sometimes things like really sexy, like, hey, you want to go to this 3-day yoga retreat and this, and you can kind of go and say, does this really, it sounds good. Like, or someone's trying to talk me into it. Or maybe this career as a mold inspector will be great. But do I really want to be a mold inspector? Do I really want to be a crypto? Do I really want to be a crypto bro? Like, do I want to be a crypto bro? Really? Like, if it wasn't for the money, is there something in me that wants to be a crypto bro? And how many things can we say that seem sexy out there? It's not, and so I think the more you can start to get connected to your whole body, your mind, body, spirit, and as your navigator, then hopefully you're making better decisions on who you're spending time with and how you're spending your time.